Hi, Eric. Thank you
Hi.
so much for being with us
My
today.
pleasure. My pleasure.
Thanks for sliding on. We are
Uh-huh.
here to talk to Eric about Black Friday. It has come early this year.
That's right. With the economy the way it is, retailers are doing everything they can to pry dollars out of reluctant customers' hands. So, this is a very important season to retailers. It could be 25 to 40% of their year's total sales. So if they can expand the shopping season by a little bit, by advancing it, anything in this economy helps.
Well, I mean, at this point, though, last year people were pinching pennies just as much as this year. So why are we seeing this now?
Well, we're seeing it now because it's a way to expand the shopping season and give retailers that many more chances to, sink their hooks into you.
So do you think this is going to be an ongoing thing now for years to come, or is this just a stint that will last for this year and only this year?
It's hard to know. That's a good question. I don't think it worked that great last year. It certainly wasn't the first year that we've moved Black Friday up. But it's hard to.
It seems to be getting a lot more press this year.
It does. It does. I think that may be because the retailers are so much more hopeful about this year. Last year, sales were flat, and flat with a really terrible 2008 by comparison. So this year they're expecting a return to, well, mediocre, normal sales. But by comparison with 2008 and 2009, that just seems great.
Does all of this in a way, or will it eventually, and I know you said it is hard to predict things like this, diminish Black Friday as we know it?
Yes.
It has so much hype.
Yes, well, it always was just hype. And now they're borrowing some of that magic and extending it to days that aren't even remotely like Black Friday, that aren't even Fridays in many cases. But it's a way to give an aura of sale, deal, bargain to a kind of sale that is more preliminary and really isn't necessarily always that good a bargain.
So it's a way to try to trick consumers a little bit.
Well, I wouldn't put it past retailers to do that.
They are saying, though, studies are showing that, especially due to the recession, people are getting smart. Consumers are getting smarter and smarter and saying there's just no way I'm buying anything but a sale, and hey, I know how to shop for it.
No, that's absolutely right, and retailers are accommodating that. But they're tricky. They're tricky, and you have to do your research. Go online or use your smartphone. Make sure you know what a fair price is for everything you're going to buy.
We have a chat room question.
Well, related to the shopper smarts, Cool Jets asks if I buy something now and it's cheaper in a few weeks, do you think the stores will give him the difference? If he brings the item back?
Question. I think in some cases it depends on your relationship with the store, I would say, and the kind of retail outfit it is. In many cases, probably not. The volume is pretty high and the stores are busy. But I think it's always worth asking. You'd be amazed at what you can bargain for.
Do you think that this will backfire in some ways in that consumers might say, well, you know what, I'm not going to buy now because I know that the day after Thanksgiving is just the ultimate blowout sale, so it's just not worth it?
Yes, that happens every year, and you could extend it even beyond Black Friday. So you can say, well, I know that a November 6th sale probably won't be as good as a Black Friday sale, and then you can say, well, I know a Black Friday sale probably won't be as good as when they're trying to close things out right before the holidays. It's a gamble you have to take because then possibly the item you want won't be available anymore. Retailers are being very careful about their inventory, and they're not going to be stuck, if they can help it, with a lot of stuff like they were in 2008.
So let's talk about some stores that have already started the Black Friday sale.
Okay. Well, among the stores that have already started is Sears. Sears may be among the brick-and-mortar retailers, the one that's gotten into this early. They started their Black Friday Now sale yesterday and extends through the end of today. Amazon.com also started yesterday with their countdown to Black Friday. Every Friday they have one item that they highlight and give a very good price to. One of the best deals may be Target, though, which is starting just Sunday before Thanksgiving. 170 items go on discounts of as much as 50%.
Now, are we seeing anything different? You mentioned this earlier with Black Friday sales early now being similar in terms of timing. Are any stores going to open at 4 a.m. way before the day after Thanksgiving?
Yes, I think you'll see a lot of that. And the reason is not just to get people in the door earlier, but to avoid the kind of tragic accident that Walmart had in 2008. So often they will open the doors at midnight and they'll just say the sale starts on Friday morning or the sale starts on Friday, and people will peter in. There won't be this kind of crush of people hanging outside the door. It's a crowd control technique as much as anything.
In terms of products, is there something that people should be, or a number of products that our viewers should be looking out for in terms of maybe technology or clothing? They can get a better deal now versus the actual Black Friday.
It's hard to know. Again, prices will go down all the way up until the holidays, but items may run out. So I would say that if you're looking at things that way, it would be a good idea to buy something that will be in high demand and will not be heavily discounted, because it won't do you any good to wait and might do you some harm because you won't be able to get it. And so the first things that come to mind when you say that would be iPad and iPhone. Those Apple products are generally not discounted much, if anything.
For me personally, I remember when the car navigators just came out and were very popular. I was so excited because I decided I'm going to get a head start this year and I have to buy somebody this gift. I'm going to buy it in October and I'm going to get a deal. Turns out it was at least $150 cheaper by December, and it was a hot item.
Was that 2008?
Yes.
Yes. Well, you won't see those kinds of discounts. Prices won't fall off a cliff this year. And I would say that the peace of mind you get from not having to go out in December to do some shopping may have been worth the kind of discount you might see now between November and December.
What about online shopping? You had mentioned Amazon.com already has deals, but can people see these type of sales on other websites?
Yes, Staples.com will be starting a sale the Sunday before Thanksgiving, as much as 50% off on printers and laptops and cameras. Walmart.com is starting a sale as well, and that starts the first week in November. Every week, 200 items go on sale.
Well, Rick, looks like we have a lot to look forward to this season, huh?
Sure do, yeah.
Well, aside from Black Friday, what are some other tips that you have for consumers who are gearing up for Christmas and holiday shopping in general?
Well, I would say, just in relation to Black Friday, just don't assume that because Black Friday's name is in front of a sale that it's necessarily the best price, regardless of whether it's on actual Black Friday or in the month of November. Always do comparison shopping. It's so easy to do by going online. You can do it now with a smartphone app. So just do it. Know what you're paying for, and don't be taken. Remember that the reason behind these sales is to get you into the store so that while you're looking for your sale item, you will load some full price things into your shopping cart. You don't have to do that. Go with a list. Go for the things you wanted, and try to keep blinders on and don't be tempted by the other stuff that's full price that's right there to try to hook you.
Now, is earlier always better in terms of holiday shopping?
Earlier is only better in terms of getting the availability of the item. Later is always better in terms of getting the price.
Even after Christmas. Let's talk about after Christmas sales. I know we've been talking about after Thanksgiving sales, but what about people who've decided, I'm going to visit the relatives a week or so after?
Well, then you really have an advantage then because prices may really drop, particularly for things related to the holidays especially. So that's a very good strategy if you can wait.
Hard to wait. It's certainly hard to wait, though.
It is hard to wait because you do have to shop for everyone else before the holidays, and it'll be hard to say, it's hard to want to go back into that.
I can only imagine.
I don't want to go back to the mall the week after Christmas.
Oh, isn't that the worst thing, Ray? I don't think I've ever done that. Are we seeing a lot more online shoppers now just for the sake of trying to get out of the mayhem of malls and stores?
Yes, absolutely. This year, 40% of people said they would think about buying at least some of their shopping for the holidays online.
It's hard, though. I mean, it's always been a hard adjustment for me because I feel like I really need to see it. And I think that's a problem for people. To see, to touch the item, to have it in your hands versus looking at it in a picture and waiting for it to come.
Well, I feel that way, too. It's certainly about apparel. But on the other hand, you're buying a gift, so it doesn't really matter. And online retailers are doing everything they can to make it easier for you with allowing you to try things on virtually, right. And with broadband, it's so much easier to make these things work. And also return policies are very easy online. You couldn't survive,
right.
if you couldn't survive online if you weren't.
Well, thank you so much for joining us. We'll have to have you back as the holidays get even closer.
It's my pleasure.
It was a pleasure, Eric. Thank you. Come back again soon.
All right, I will.